So hi everyone, and today I want to make a podcast. Basically I want to make a series of podcasts that will come out between videos that I put up on YouTube, and it will be really cool. Basically I want to start off after the Brood saga and probably when the X-Men change a bit. So we're going to talk about that and what they get into and stuff. So basically, yeah, a lot of stuff happens, like Storm gets a new costume with a mohawk. Storm, and she loses her powers briefly during this time. And basically what happens is Rogue joins the team after Boundary leaves because she has misunderstanding and doesn't trust the X-Men, bringing Rogue into the team. And Rachel Summers can't get over the fact that Madelyne Pryor has joined the team because she looks so much like Jean Grey. But really, it's a good few issues. We meet Madelyne Pryor after Cyclops, his brother and his father walk into her in Alaska an airport where she's an air attendant. And basically they instantly fall in love because she looks so much like Jean Grey. And that's primarily the reason why he marries her. And what happens is they go back and there's this interesting story where Caliban and Kitty Pryde get married, and basically Colossus is like a statue and Rogue has to absorb his powers, and she becomes like a statue figure, and they just walk away like not much happens, but oh well. And basically what happens is yeah, a lot of stuff happens, like Cyclops and Madelyne Pryor arrange to get married at this point, and what happens is Madelyne Pryor ends up getting kidnapped by Mastermind and Jason Wingard. Jason Wingard is like from the Phoenix saga, if any of you have read that. And what happens is he dresses her up like the Dark Phoeinx because he thinks she's Jean Grey. What happens is the X-Men go rescue her, and this weird thing happens. Like, I think Mastermind creates like illusion of the Dark Phoeinx for the X-Men to fight, and then Cyclops fights like Mastermind's control and like saves Madelyne Pryor, and they get married. And then they go on a trip, I think. And basically the X-Men have like missions and stuff, and there's this good mission where Rogue, Nightcrawler and Colossus fight Warlock's father, and Rogue absorbs his powers and she's like all like weird and stuff. So yeah, that was a good issue. And what happens is they end up getting into some like fights with Freedom Force and stuff, and they fight Nimrod, and Nimrod is like this sentient future sentinel that's like indestructible and can shapeshift and stuff. And what happens is Rogue has to take off the X-Men's powers to defeat him, so she becomes this mishmash of like characters and goes up against Nimrod and defeats him. Well, they're fighting Juggernaut because that was their mission in the first place. So what happens is, yeah, they fight Freedom Force and they find out that Spider-Woman joins, and they're like, well, you're the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and they're like, no, we're not, we're Freedom Force. And I'm like sitting there going, well, they won't be able to figure out the difference. Mystique isn't with them at that point, which is strange, but they attack them outside their base of operations at the time. And basically they would fight the Hellfire Club, because the Hellfire Club planned to wear costumes to take on the X-Men. So they're pretending to be superheroes, but Henry Leland gets killed by Nimrod and Nightcrawler. Something happens to Nightcrawler and Storm freaks out, and that panel right there just gets me, what happened to Nightcrawler? Worrying for the character. I'm sitting there going, what? And it's so weird, because the X-Men are fighting tooth and nail against Nimrod, and they're able to get rid of him and send him back, sort of. He sticks around, and this time soon for a bit, and comes back much later. And this will lead up to Mutant Massacre. We're going to talk a bit about Mutant Massacre. Basically, in the 80s, they want to make an X-Men crossover event that would have ripples in the Marvel Universe. And basically, you have this group called Marauders, formed by Mr. Sinister, but then gets retconned later to be that Gambit led them through the tunnels, and they had a misunderstanding. So they massacred the Morlocks, who live under New York, and what happens is, this fight happens. You have the two teams, the original X-Men who are going by X-Factor, and the current X-Men. And basically what happens is, they don't see each other, but the X-Men are lured by a dying Morlock, and they go under, and they fight, and Kitty, Colossus, and Nightcrawler get injured really badly. And they have to leave because it's just such an overwhelming battle, they can't win. So they manage to fight the Marauders off, and they get the remaining Morlocks who haven't been viciously murdered, and just take them back to the X-Mansion. And at the same time you have X-Factor, the original X-Men, fighting against the remaining Marauders, because one of them gets killed, Riptide gets killed by Colossus. And what happens is, they fight, and they watch Morlocks being killed by Harpoon, Arclight, Vertigo, Sabretooth, Blockbuster, and a few other Marauders like that. There's a whole heap of them, And what happens is, Jean Grey kills Prison when she arrives with Warren Worthington, and they block off the entrance, which happens in X-Men also. You see that happen. And what happens is, Jean Grey goes off with the remaining three and leaves Archangel, or Angel at this point, to save Artie, who's in the tunnels. And he gets attacked by Vertigo, Blockbuster, and Harpoon, and gets his wings clipped by Harpoon, Blockbuster. And Thor would save him and leave the tunnels after enchanting this Asgardian fire to burn all of the bodies in kind of nice way, but it keeps out the Marauders. And after the X-Men leave, Storm tells Wolverine to stay behind to fight Sabretooth to get the Wizard, who's the Morlock healer, and he manages to fight Sabretooth, and him, Rogue, and the Wizard leave. A puff of smoke comes over the entrance, and that's the Asgardian fire. and the New Mutants are involved, but we're not going to talk much about them because they don't really apply to this podcast as such. I will make a New Mutants podcast sometime, probably. I think this is where we're gonna leave. We need to talk one more thing. Psylocke, who gets involved. She's at the X-Mansion and she's scanning through the X-Mansion security. She gets feedback from Cerebro that Marauder has appeared in the grounds, and Sabretooth, who bashes Cerebro and attacks her and chases her, and she's able to defend herself until Wolverine arrives with the rest of the X-Men and they fight Sabretooth, and she probes Sabretooth's mind, finds out there's someone else behind this, who's Mr. Sinister, and this is when we realise Mr. Sinister is part of the X-Universe. So basically, we're going to leave this video here. Psylocke obviously joins the X-Men because they need more members, because there's 3 injured members who get sent to Muir Island. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you soon with another chapter of this podcast I'm planning to make. Bye.